Welcome to the show.
Morning.
Hi.
So, Gerald, you were playing the dad way back in, was it 2006? And you're again playing the dad this time around. How is it the same? Is it different? How's it been?
Well, we've built it up from the ground again, from zero. So with a new team, Derrick, Edward, and all the young actors and creative people behind it. So I think it's going to be slightly different, you know, and it's a new time. So we're responding to whatever, you know, is current at this point in time, and we hope that the new audience will sort of be enjoying it.
So it will be somewhat refreshed with a younger cast as well, or a lot of new talent coming in. Tell us a bit more about the rest of the cast.
Well, there's Edward here, who's playing the doctor, and actually none of them have actually been in a production before, so you know, we're approaching it with fresh eyes.
Okay.
So that can be good.
Okay.
But Derrick, you've hopefully directed a production before, right? I'm kidding.
not that production.
No, but you have, in fact, you have done some of Jean's other plays. Another one called Boom. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did something called Boom, another play of hers last year, and this is our second play of Jean's wonderful collection of works.
But this particular one struck a chord with you personally, did it?
Yeah, I think I really enjoy Jean's writing. That's for one, but also because my grandmother suffered from a mild stroke previously. So when I revisited the play and started reading the script again, it just was even more real and personal for me, and I think that was what drew me to the play and decided to stage this play.
I mean, we've been talking a bit specifically about the roles already, but maybe help for the audience who might not be clear. We mentioned very briefly it's about a physics teacher trying to go back in time to save her dad. Is that correct?
So it's about Elaine, a physics teacher played by Ching, and the relationship with her dad, Gerald, played by Gerald, and how her life changes when her father suffers from a stroke. And of course, like every good play and good story, there's the love interest coming in the form of Edward, who plays father's doctor. So that is the gist of what Everything But the Brain is all about.
I see.
Yeah. Now, I understand, Edward, also, this play, I understand when you first read the script, you were quite struck by it, weren't you?
I was very emotionally affected because my grandfather, who brought me up, I was really close to him, and he's always been this really independent, really strong character. He went everywhere on his own, and then he suffered a stroke. And he was bedridden, and he changed. He really fundamentally became a different person. So when I read about the protagonist wanting to travel back time, and travel back in time and be with her father to fulfill all the dreams that she never could have because she never had the time to do it, I finished reading the play. I remembered I was sitting in front of the computer, and for half an hour I couldn't do anything. And I Skyped my wife, who was in Paris at the time, like, dear, you really have to read this. It's really amazing. So yeah, it's an amazing piece of writing.
Okay, so in a sense, it's a play that I guess really hits home, that you think people can really connect with. Are we talking about only those who have unfortunately had to experience a similar situations, or will people who, you know, have no clue or no connection with someone who has fallen ill that way be also able to connect? What do you think, Gerald?
Yeah, I think this play, actually, it's not just about the condition of a stroke. It sets off a larger universal story about family relationships. So people will be able to actually really get into it, because it's a really good story. It's got a love interest, it's father-daughter relationships, and it talks about, even for the geeks, a lot about science actually and how it affects our lives.
Okay.
So what kind of preparation did you all do for this, in the research that went into this? I understand you spoke to stroke survivors and medical professionals as well to prepare for it.
Yeah, I think because the play addresses stroke, and I knew very early in the process that I wanted to work with the National Stroke Association. So what we did is we got in touch with them, and they provided us with a lot of research materials, and we also had a workshop that was conducted by the president of the Stroke Association, and we also had stroke survivors coming to talk to us and share with us their experience, and for the cast, I think that was quite a good eye-opener.
It was very enlightening and heartwarming to actually meet the stroke survivors. I mean, and to actually understand their condition. A lot of them were talking more about the emotional impact of it, of what happened to them and how it changed their lives. So that was really eye-opening.
And this is my public service announcement. If you have a stroke, get to hospital within 4.5 hours, please.
Oh, is that the timeline that you...
Yeah. It used to be 3. They've extended it to 4.5. So you really need to be aware of the symptoms. You really need to get your loved ones in. If you suspect anything is wrong, don't get in a cab, call an ambulance.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. So I guess you have become a bit of a part-time doctor?
An expert of sorts.
I've been talking to my friends who are in the medical industry, and they're all like, "You're playing a neurologist? Wow, that's horrible." You know? Because they're talking about how the older neurologists used to be very chill because there used to be no treatment for stroke. Then they invented this thing called TPA, which is alteplase, and it actually is a blood clot dissolving drug. So finally, there's something that you can do for stroke patients, but suddenly neurologists had to be on call, on duty. It used to be, you know, the neurologist would come in, "Oh, you've had a stroke, it's been 2 days, okay, let's see what we can do for you." Nowadays, get him in within 4.5 hours, we're going to have emergency treatment, we're going to see what we can do.
Right, right.
Gee, very convincing, I must say.
He sounds very sure, like he knows what he's doing. So, I mean, as you mentioned, but the play is more about the relationships between the people, not so much about the medical facts, although I think you've made effort to make sure they're all accurate, you know. And what are some of the new discoveries between, I mean, when you were hearing from patients themselves, did you find, were they aligned with what was in the story? The similar, I guess, I don't know, approach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's this whole universe of subtle things that happen to a person when they are afflicted with this condition, like losing what they're used to, memories, you know, the ability to sort of move normally, and so on and so forth. So the play itself actually does sort of use this as a launching board to talk about many other things.
I suspect the people around them are affected as well,
Exactly,
parents, etc., family members.
There's a very powerful scene where his daughter is dealing with his urinary incontinence. The father doesn't want to wear diapers. And she's telling him, "Look, I can't keep buying a new mattress every time you pee in bed." It's a very powerful scene. So,
Okay, guys, well, thanks so much for coming in. All the best for the production. And just a quick note to folks out there, it will be running, but there is a charity gala night on August 11th that actually proceeds will go for the Singapore National Stroke Association. So you can make an effort to head out there. But otherwise, it runs from the 10th to 21st of August at the DBS Arts Centre.
Okay, the website is on your screen there if you want to find out more information. It looks like a really, really fascinating play to watch.
looking good, Mr. Lim.